My dad was a union iron worker, and I watched him wake up and drink beer every day.
I was living on the streets, basically living out of my car. I had 2 warrants out for my arrest.
Started with just a couple lure tabs here and there. Made me feel like Superman, so I was like, well, I'm gonna continue to do this.
He almost killed me. I lost my kids. I went through it all. I went to prison, I went to jail.
I've done IOP before. I've gone through drug court. I've been through all these things. I've even been to prison twice.
People got a lot of stories they don't tell all the time, and I wasn't telling anybody about some of mine for 20 years.
It's like fire inside your bones, man. It's burning inside and you can't extinguish it. Your head is sweating, your body's aching, you want to get away.
People are dying every week, and people are suffering.
The problems that we're having today are greater than they used to be. It's affecting every walk of life, every generation.
I had a problem and I didn't want to continue the way I was living.
The fear of dying of this disease wasn't what scared me. The fear of living through it is what terrified me the most.
You just don't know when the lights are going to go on and someone is going to say, yes, I want help today. And so peers really act as the connective tissue between treatment services, specialized treatment services, and the community of recovery.
Their job is to offer their own experiences to our clients.
My personal story, my education, my training, my life, is giving me the gift to be able to work with people on a level that peer support's able to do.
If you want to do peer support work, remember always that you were once just like the person you're talking to.
Here's someone who's been where you've been and is in this whole different place. And when you see that, it gives you a lot of hope.
My job doesn't feel like work. What it feels like is that I get to help people all day.
There's an emotional roller coaster that goes on during early recovery, and I want to help them to learn to cope with that.
Many peers come from lived experience, not necessarily very far from their own recovery. It's really important that they understand some of the do's and don'ts, if you will, in terms of what can be helpful and what can create harm.
As a peer support, I feel like it's my responsibility to maintain boundaries with the client because the client does not understand what boundaries are.
You don't want to come off as too strong, or sometimes you may not want to be too relaxed. You just want to find the medium so you can let them know that, hey, I'm here for you.
Self-care is a big component in this line of work. I just know when I don't take care of myself, it's hard for me to help take care of somebody else.
If we fail, then the people that we're supposed to help won't succeed. And now we're dealing with life and death.
We know that the longer folks stay engaged in the treatment process, the more likely they are to be able to find long-term recovery.
This is how a peer support specialist helps somebody else by having that lived experience and sharing that with a client.
Once I got sober and started working the steps and started doing certain things, I enjoyed it.
So when I got it, I just wanted to give it to everybody else. It's like, hey man, you ain't got to go through this again, man. You got it.
One of my good days is when one of the clients says, hey, I got a sponsor, or hey, I went to a meeting by myself.
Find out what it is they want. What is recovery to you? What is, where do you see yourself in a year? What can we do to get you to that point? What will make you happy? Because essentially that's all I want to do is improve somebody's quality of life.
Sometimes we're not strong enough to fight for ourselves, and it's just somebody having faith in us until we have faith in ourselves. I want to fight for them.